All right, you guys, I have the Danessa Myricks Lightworks VI palette, and I was sent this palette. I just have to take a moment to explain why it is so revolutionary. The shadows inside, of course, are incredible. We have some really special kind of multi-chromes, duochromes, iridescent shadows, shimmer shades, all of that, but this packaging is unlike anything that I've ever seen in mainstream beauty, so I just want to take a moment to explain that. I am a huge indie makeup lover. I love making custom palettes. If you've been following me over here or on Instagram, you know how much I love arranging colors and customizing my makeup. So this is a fully customizable palette. I actually took one of the pans out just so I can show you. It's all magnetic. Every portion of it is magnetic. And then the individual pans inside are labeled. So you'll never not know what the shade name is if you want to. And so yes, these pop in and out. I'll just show you here. You just click it back in. And I would recommend, you can use your finger, but you do risk, you know, nicking the shade when you do that. So I would recommend using a little spatula. You can find these on Amazon, or I really like using a telescoping magnet, and that's exactly what they're called. You can look that up online as well. And what you do is you can just come in on the edge of the pan and use the magnet to gently remove each one. So that's another thing that you can do. I believe there's a kind of hole at the back of each. No, I don't think there is actually. I thought there was a little hole at the back of each pan that you could use a pin. Sometimes there is that, but not in this case. Anyway, so these, this palette is also organized into little kind of mini palettes, you can say. So each of these little kind of mini palettes of 6 pop out. They are also in the palette on magnets. So you can pop each of those 3 out. And then what's really cool, so not only is this palette a magnet, so you can use this if you want to just use, you know, this as an empty palette. You can use it as an empty palette and then put your own shadows or other magnetic pans into this. But you can also stack these. So you can stack them like this, or you can just have them like a little 6 pan here, and then the kind of label on the front here pops out, and you can use this, which is also a mirror, but it's also the top of these little mini palettes. So you can carry a little 6 pan with you. You can carry a stack of all 18. And then there's a little dust bag that this Lightworks VI comes with, and you can pop it in and carry it with you on the go. So really genius packaging. Just had to take a moment to explain to you why the packaging itself is so innovative on top of what's inside. And then yes, I'm going to be back in a separate video with doing some live swatches, because who doesn't love live swatches? So I'll see you in the next video. Bye. All right, as promised, I came back. I'm gonna do live swatches of Danessa Myricks Lightworks VI. Not only is the packaging super innovative, but the shades inside are so special. And I think that in terms of like special shades that you can get mainstream at Sephora, online at Danessa Myricks Beauty, this is as good as it gets. So, you know, I think indie makeup has been doing special shadows for some time, but in terms of what you can get mainstream, this is it. So you've got duochromes, you've got multi-chromes, you've got iridescent shadows, you've got some regular shimmers in here. So there's something for everyone. And these really are kind of like, you can use them for complex artistry, but you can use them every day as a one shadow, just swipe and go. Pair them with your favorite matte shadows. So they're not as intimidating as they seem, and they really do give you endless possibilities. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them by these little mini 6-pan palettes here. So this is kind of the pinky color story. And the first shadow here, this is an iridescent. And I do have swatches in a separate post if you're curious. If you just prefer seeing static posts there, but you can just see how much is going on. You've got pink, orange, green, yellow. This is definitely a multi-chrome. So a lot going on. This second shadow here, that's the one in the pan here, is a light kind of almost like a ballerina pink. I think this is like a duochrome or just a regular shimmer, but it is so ethereal, so pretty, and these would pair super well together. Next is this shadow here. Sometimes, honestly, you cannot tell what it's gonna do. Well, you really can't tell what it's gonna do by just looking at it in the pan. But again, this looks like a multi-chrome. You've got this pink, orange, yellow going on here. And the texture on these is smooth. I think they're gonna work for a lot of different skin types, or people with all different types of kind of eyelids, like hooded eyes, non-hooded eyes, all of that. So this is the next shadow here. Again, on my fingertip, this also looks like a multi-chrome, at least a duochrome. It's got some intense shift in there, and you have a really pretty fiery orange red shift going on in that one there. These last two are, I would say, regular shimmers. They're very pretty, but I don't think there's shift in them. And they're not quite as shiny. I think they're gonna be a lot more kind of user-friendly for day-to-day. And I don't, like I said, I don't think there's a chrome shift in these last two in this little quadrant, or this little 6-pan palette there. So that's kind of like magenta and more of a purple shade there. All right, and then moving on to this bluer 6-pan palette. I'm gonna go ahead, and again, there's quite a lot of iridescence, and I love that because they're such transformative shades. Give you so many possibilities for layering. And let's see what we have here. My whole arm is going to be covered by the end. This is this kind of like greeny blue, I'd say like blue with this kind of teal green shift in it. Let's see if I can get that to capture on camera. And then we have the next one is another iridescent, very fiery. This one is not quite as smooth. It's got some texture to it, but still not overly textured. And so that is the next iridescent shade there. How would I describe this? It's got like kind of pink, orange, gold. Let's see. Yeah, primarily those colors are what I'm seeing. And it's not quite as sheer of an iridescent, so you could probably go quite light-handed with this one when you're layering it. The next two, let's see, we've got this kind of light blue shade there, and this looks like a duochrome. You have a kind of pretty light green shift in it, maybe some yellow in there. And then our next one is this more true blue. And again, I think this is also a duochrome. Yeah. So you do have a shift in there, but don't have, I think you've got more of like one shift than multiple shifts going on. Kind of purple bluey. And then these last two again look like shimmers to me. This one is not super shiny, or not super like, yeah, shiny, sparkly. And that's like this kind of cobalt blue. And then this kind of deeper blue here. It's like a blurble, like a dark kind of blackened blurble shade there. That's super pretty. Okay, so that's the last shade in that little kind of 6 pan there. And then this last one, ooh, this might be my favorite. It has a lot of really fiery shades in there. So the first one again is an iridescent. This looks like this one has a lot going on. Ooh, that is so pretty. Okay, so that's the first shade in that little quadrant there, or 6 pan palette there. Then the next one is this yellow. It looks like it has a yellow with a sort of light green shift in it. Ooh, so pretty. So there's what that one looks like. I think that's a duochrome. Next two, so we have this orangey shade there. This one has a little bit more texture in it. Definitely a multi-chrome. It's got a lot going on. Red, orange, yellow. Really intense shift in that one. And then I have this beautiful green shade here. So pretty. Really smooth. I think this one is also a multi-chrome. Either way, has a lot of shift in it. Look at that, really pretty bluish, purplish shift. And then last two shades, this one looks again like a straight on shimmer. And I like that we have some of these shades in here because I think sometimes on the day-to-day, people are not feeling like wearing a chrome. So there's that kind of like orangish, reddish shimmer there. And then last shade is this. And that looks like a multi-chrome. Yeah. So that's got a really pretty, let's see what the shifts are in this one. So it's got a green base with this kind of murky yellow kind of lighter green shift in that. So here's what all 18 shades look like. Hopefully this helps a little bit. If you have any questions, let me know. Do you need it? If you have a ton of indie single shadows, you may have trouble justifying it, but I just think that this is such a cool release. The packaging is so cool, and I just love to be a part of such an innovative mainstream release. So in my opinion, it's totally worth it. But I will see you in the next video, and let me know what other content you'd like to see. I'll definitely be doing some looks as well. So thank you. Bye.